Well, hi guys. Paul here from PABrewNews with a PA brew from a PA brewery that I've never had before, Evergreen Brewing Company. And yes, I have a weird part today because shut up. Uh, Blue Detour IPA from Evergreen Brewing Company over in Camp Hill on the other. Oh, look at that fucking part being chaos. On the other side of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So over that way, there you go. Apparently there is a venue and stuff over that way too now. Certain bands playing stuff. I've never had these guys before. Also have another beer that they did with Funk Brewing Company a little bit north of them called Perfect Strangers Imperial India Pale Ale. So have that to look forward to. By another. Actually, not just before I even say that. Also, I have their Juice Lucy Evergreen Brewing Company again, 6% IPA. So I have that. So I already have a nice little selection of Evergreen Brewing Company beers, and let's get into the first one of the list. What's up, brother Craig? This comes in at 6.5 alcohol by the volume. Evergreen Brewing Company, of course, and independent craft. Blah blah blah. Everyone knows it. Okay, cracked it open. Now, I can't. Damn people, they're stupid. How can you label out, folks? Okay, left hand label out. Alright, it is looking somewhat on the haze factor. Not every IPA I've had lately has been the haze factor, but this one definitely looks hazy. This one definitely looks hazy. And it was poured like a Neanderthal because I'm not a lefty. But I had to label out, folks. Look at that crazy ass part. It's like someone just chopped my fucking head with an axe. I'll definitely have to fix that. Okay, that's what happens when you don't bathe and you don't look in mirrors. Okay, up to light. I'm telling you what, it's haze for days. It's nothing but haze for days. What's up, brother Chris? What's up? Yeah, Paul is not Chris, and Chris is not Paul. I don't know if you've noticed this, but Joe the whole last night was calling you Paul before he said something, and then called me Chris twice too. So I don't know what was up with him, but it was just funny, and he didn't realize it was happening. Well, okay, we're getting a little bit of a broken down head now. That nice white thick head is now dissipating pretty rapidly. Bigger bubbles are forming. Little alcohol legs from that 6%, but to be expected. Let's get some aroma on the Blue Detour IPA from Evergreen Brewing Company from Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. It is grapefruit, tangerine, and a little bit of something that reminds me of like almost a hint of a peach, a little stone fruit. And it is bombastically so. Lots and lots and lots. It is probably a bit thin. But there's a lot of nice little oat sweetness, a little bit of torrefied wheat sweetness coming out. I'm not really picking up super lactose, but a little bit torrefied wheat oat sweetness kind of coming out. Lots and lots of grapefruit, tangerine, and a little bit of something that reminds me even of mango, papaya, peach. That in that little category, just one of those nice fleshy stone fruits. If any of those are stone fruits, I'm pretty sure they are. But yeah, you're definitely getting that in the background. In the background where the little bit of earthy bitterness lays, there's a little bit of something that reminds me of a little bit of peach. But tons of like tangerine and grapefruit off the hook. So let's get into this one. Cheers. It's a bit thin. Chris left. He's not here. I don't know where the hell he went. It is a bit thin. It's kind of like on that low side of a medium. And usually with these have the nice hazy and stuff. They're usually in that kind of medium side of a medium, almost tapering to the high side of a medium. This one's on that kind of low side of a medium and then starts to get into that high side of a low, but still stays in that medium category. Again, lots of that torrefied wheat kind of quality, a little bit of oat grain in there too. Not really getting a lot of sweetness like lactose or anything like that. Bombastically grapefruit and tangerine. Just tons of it. Tons of tangerine, tons of grapefruit. Nice oily piffiness in there too. It is still working the palate. I love that. I hate when they just die. You get a nice little bit of it and they die down. I like when they waft. That oily hop resin just wafts and wafts and wafts. Zero real bitterness except for that drying, wafting notes from those hops. Basically, those torrefied oat wheat and that kind of oat kind of that body rips away most of the bitterness. There's only a hint of an earthy bitterness. And of course, like I said, those hop oils from those fruity tones, that oily piffiness, working on the palate. So definitely crushable. Ooh. There's a little bit of bitterness. I was going to say, let me double check that one. There is a little bit of bitterness now that I really try to find that bitterness. Earthy, peppery, spicy bitterness. There is there, but again, all those different beautiful wafting hops are just wow. You know, those nice little juicy, loosey oilies. I didn't catch that last one, Craig. It is not. It's still working away. It's still drying the palate out. It's actually. I'm having a hard time deciphering whether this is just like earthy bitterness that's working away, or it's that kind of oily, resiny, tannic tones from, like, not tannic tone, but drying tones from the oils of the hops. But it's good. It's a good beer. Very solid. It's not as good as some of the hazy IPAs that I have had. You know, more of them are a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more bombastic, a little bit more sweetness, a little bit more this, a little bit more that. Give it, be that as it may, it's still a really tasty brew. Ooh. And it's so nice to have breweries in my local area doing these, and me being able to get them and not having to go to the brewery to get them. You know what I mean? This is a big deal for me, and I'm really happy about it. This is hazy, but it's nowhere near in those categories of those big New England IPAs. You know what I mean? It's not in that category. It's too bland on the sweetness level. The torrefied wheats and stuff are giving the biggest body in the world. And there is a lot of that kind of earthy bitterness now that I'm talking more and more, and that oily hop resin working on your palate that you don't get in a lot of those. But it's still a really fruit, those grapefruit and tangerine fruit forward, hop forward beers that are really nice. It's kind of like blending if there was pine, a lot of pine, I would say it is a perfect blend of a New England IPA with a West Coast IPA. If that kind of gets the mindset where this beer is right now, kind of that kind of a perfect stranger kind of vibe. Both coasts coming together. Yeah, if there was a nice pine to this one, it would be just like you poured a West Coast and a New England IPA right together. But anyway, I still like it. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. The Blue Detour IPA from Evergreen Brewing Company from Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. Yes. It's been Paul from PABrewNews. Thank you, Brother Craig and Brother Chris, for joining in, commenting. Doodly-doodly-doo. I will hopefully get some financial shit sorted out at some point in time during this year so I can get my plane ticket at some point fucking time this year to get the fuck over to England and have some money to buy beer and shit. I hope. So we'll see. I've got some, I'm probably going to be doing some painting classes here now at wineries in the area. So I don't know how many people are going to sign up for that, what the interest is in the local area, but I decided to start teaching painting classes for extra revenue. I don't know how much it's going to do. I don't know if people are going to like it, but it's at a winery. So there's going to be some wine reviews probably at some point in time, some free wine, and then, of course, people enjoying the art and the joy of painting. So that'll be fun. And I already recorded another Painting with PABrewNews. That'll be up on the channel in the next day or two. So if you want to, check that out. It's a little bit longer than my normal ones. I kind of went just la 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 la. I was 4 in the fucking morning. So I went 45 minutes instead of a half an hour, but I think you might be able to stand that if you like the Painting with PABrewNews series. So talented. Oh, not as talented as you are, Chris. You understand the computers and the digital editing. Something that I cannot understand at all. Because I'm so backwoodsy and squatchy and old and bitter. Joe did say he likes it when I finish my beers on cam, even though he doesn't. I like how piffy this is. Thank you. I like how piffy this is and oily. Zesty, piffy, oily. I really like that about these really juice-forward beers. I like that. And I like the fact that they're doing it without putting juice in, because for some reason when they put grapefruit juice or grapefruit rinds in a beer, I have a little bit of an allergy attack, and I still don't know why. Ooh. Very, very nice. It does. It is delicious. Don't know if anyone who watches this, I started a YouTube channel for the painting, if you guys are into it. It's Oil Paintings by PABrewNews. Go check it out on the Facebook. And of course, Oil Paintings by PABrewNews with a little underscore between them is my Instagram. Not saying anyone's going to go check it out that isn't already subbed or followed or whatever you want to call it. But hey, what the fuck. And I'll always check out PABrewNews over on Twitter. So there you go. I have a fucking Twitter account. I understand how to do it. I couldn't believe how much porn's on Twitter. Twitter is fucking fantastic for porn. Just in case you didn't know this. Yeah, it's good. Mm. Oh, fuck yeah. Porn's great. So anyway, the Blue Detour IPA from Evergreen Brewing Company from Camp Hill. Definitely getting an 8 out of 10 for me. Probably not for everybody, and what they expect out of it, they probably not going to get, because everyone's getting like really spoiled with these big juicy, you know, the whole low bitterness, big juiciness, creamy sweet, the whole deal. It's just a changing phase. It's what happens, but it's still a good beer. 8 out of 10 from that one. I have a shit ton of beer here. Excuse me, that I picked up from the Rusty Rail Brewing Company, from Oliver Brewing Company, from Sierra Nevada, which I want to do the Resilience IPA. I love the fact that the Resilience, they give 100% of the proceeds from this beer to the Campfire Fund to help people rebuild after the fire. Absolutely loving it. We got the, let's see, we got 3 from the Oliver Brewing Company to do their all DIPAs. We have the Perfect Stranger in the Pale Ale. So we have lots of IPAs. We have a Belgian-style blonde ale coming up with Mongos. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 IPA styles. And then we have a Sidetrack number 56, the Smoky Banjo Smoked Porter with Vanilla coming up from Rusty Rail Brewing Company from Mifflintown, Pennsylvania, I believe it was. Something like that. Mifflinburg, Pennsylvania. And then, of course, Victory here from Downingtown. So, some pretty interesting PA brew news, and then some interesting beers in general. So, I mean, it was like bereft, barren, vast land for all these kind of weird, crazy new style IPAs and stuff like that. Oh, thank you very much. And then all of a sudden, Bloom Brew just got inundated with all this shit. So I was like, I'll buy it, blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm like, I don't have any money. Give me here. Here's my credit card. Fuck it. Just do it. So, hey, we got some reviews for the channel now. And pretty soon, I don't know when, I'll be hitting my 1,500 review, or video rather, on the PABrewNews channel. So, that's pretty cool too. Anyway, this has been Paul from PABrewNews. Thanks for everybody for tuning in, joining along, having a great time. Cheers. Bye-bye.